Welcome to the beginning of our bathroom remodel and update. I'm going to be sharing with you some of the highs and also some of the lows because obviously, you know, with any kind of renovation, there are lots of surprises that tend to pop up. Hi, my name is Shannon. Welcome to my channel, The Daily DIYer. I want to thank the Original Super Glue for sponsoring this video. As you can tell behind me, we've already got a good start on this remodel. If you've been following me on Instagram, you've already been seeing this sort of unfold. So you can follow me over there at The Daily DIYer if you want more up-to-date and in real-time updates. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and take you all the way back to the beginning so you can see everything from the very start. All right, so I'm in the disaster zone. And before you even get started with this remodel, I did want to give you a little bit of a background story on this bathroom, or at least as much as we kind of know or are guessing. The house itself is over 100 years old. I believe it was built in 1908. Now this bathroom was an addition that was built onto the back of the house. We thought it was more recently built. However, after taking this back shower wall off and finding this stacked board, we realized that it's quite a bit older. So possibly maybe around in the 70s it was added. We also found some hidden tile on the wall back there. And we personally have done absolutely nothing to this bathroom since we moved in. That's why you guys have not seen this bathroom at all ever, because it was just old. It's an outdated bathroom. We had always had the intention to update it, and that is what this video is about. We're going to start this process. And of course, who doesn't love a good before and after? So I also want to show you the before pictures and a video so you can see exactly what it looked like before we even get started, before this even happened. And then I'll also share with you some of the plans that we have on how we plan to renovate and update this space. And here's that quick look at our bathroom before we did any kind of remodeling or demo to it. And as you can see, it's livable, but definitely not modernized. This was a pretty high priority on our list of things to do to update our older home. And just to give you an idea, this space is about 6 foot wide and 8.5 foot long. So a pretty small bathroom that definitely needed some help to make it look larger than it actually is. And this is a look at my mood board. I love creating these because it gives me a lot of inspiration and also motivation to keep going through all of the renovation process. You are also going to be seeing Total Tech by the Original Super Glue being used a lot in this bathroom remodel. Basically because it is an all-in-one adhesive and sealant. It is heavy duty, it is also waterproof and paintable, so it is the perfect product to be using in a bathroom remodel. So you'll see more of that here shortly coming up. Now back to this stage in the process. After we removed the shower stall surround, we realized there was some mold and water damage, so we had to take care of that before we could really move on with this whole thing. And basically we decided we were going to gut this whole thing except for the bathtub. It is a cast iron tub, and it's one that will actually last forever and ever if you take care of it, and like we decided to do to refinish it. So this was one of those bathtubs that drove me crazy. I scrubbed it, and still there were stains that would never come out, and it drove me crazy. So what we decided to do was refinish it, and Brian had to do a lot of cleaning. That's the biggest part of refinishing this, was making sure that the surface was completely clean before we added this tub refinishing kit. We found it at Home Depot, and basically he sprayed it on and made sure it was really well prepped. Sprayed it on, and we also made sure we had the window open and a fan going, and he wore a respirator, and just gave it a few coats of the paint following all the directions. And it did have to sit for 48 hours so it could cure and harden before we could really move on with this process. time for a bathroom update. We did get the tub refinished. It said to let it sit for 48 hours, and we are about there. So this is pretty much done curing and hardening. But the cool thing was, and I guess this is a perk to having to rip everything out and also getting new trim, painting everything, and new flooring, is that we didn't really have to tape anything off. He did throw something over the pipes and stuff over here, but otherwise we just kind of went for it and spray painted everything and didn't have to worry about like using tarps and painter's tape and all of that. Speaking of this, this over here is a problem. Brian quickly found out that this is all very old pipes and it's not up to code. So his friend is coming this evening who is a plumber, and he is going to fix all of that. He actually has to build something to customize it to bring it up to code. And then they're also going to put all the insulation in, new drywall in. And then when I come back to see you next, we are going to install the new tub surround, which is going to change this whole bathroom really, really quickly, especially with a nice clean tub now. And then we get to install all of the new hardware and stuff for this. So I'm excited about it. Next time you see this, it won't look like this. Hopefully it looks lots better. Okay, and I totally lied. Coming back one more time before you see it again. I did go and pick paint out. So this is going to be the new paint color for the bathroom. I'll show you kind of more in detail what it looks like. So make sure to subscribe and come back so you can see the whole entire bathroom remodel when it's finished. But this is going to be the paint color for the top half of the walls. I actually put some over here too to just kind of put it in different spots to see different lighting. I also put it down here so you can see it next to the bathtub, so you can see what it looks like up next to bright white paint. So that gets me excited that this is going to eventually look nice, and painting is one of those last finishing steps. So soon to come. First, we got to take care of this mess. So I actually totally ate my words. We barely got the tub surround out of the package before I said absolutely no way. It was not even as nice as the one we ripped out during the demo process. So that got nixed and the idea of tile came about, so that's the route we went. So everything got ripped out, new insulation got put in, and concrete board got installed. Now this is our first major tiling experience. We had to learn how to use a tile cutter, how to mix mortar, how to apply the mortar to the tiles and to the wall, and how this whole process actually worked. So we literally just jumped in with both feet, not quite knowing, but actually it was a really great learning experience and one we would definitely do again. But next time we will know that this actually does take quite a lot of time and patience. So this whole process took us a few days. I mean, mortar does have to sit before you can grout, so drying time also has to be considered in there. But really, I'm so glad we went this route instead of the plastic tub surround. This makes such a huge difference and also adds a lot of value to our home. Alright, so here is an update. We have all of the tile installed. It still needs to be grouted, but that was a huge full two-day job. So we're just happy to have that done. Our plumber came in and made sure all of this was set up. I'm still trying to decide on a shower head for in here. The other thing we did was gut the room. So here's my light. Move it. This is my studio light, and since we took out, here it is, kind of hard to see. So here's the studio light. Since we took out the light up here, we needed something in here to keep us light so we could work. But you can see we took out the cabinet, we took out the mirror, we took out the light, and then over here the toilet is gone. and all of the spots on the wall are spackle. So what I'm going to do today is sand all of the wall, all of those spots down so that I can finally get to painting. All right, so I got everything pretty much sanded down and I can move on to painting. So let me show you the paint that I picked out is by Sherwin. I picked the Duration Home kind that they had because they said it was good for being mildew resistant, it's durable, and also you can wipe it. I got the color Light French Gray in a like satin finish for in here. We're actually going to board and batten the bathroom, so I only need to paint halfway up to the ceiling because the bottom half is going to be white. So now I need to figure out where my stopping point is going to be. I know my cabinet is going to be so high, so I think I'm going to use that as a reference. I want it a little bit taller than that, and then I will start throwing some on the wall. It was just amazing to me how this gray paint quickly changed the whole entire look and feel of this space and added so much light to it and made it look so much larger all at the same time. And it was such a quick process to paint this, so such a great way to quickly change the whole entire look and feel of a room just with a gallon of paint. I love this gray color. It kind of turned out pretty much what I was hoping for to match the tile. It was fun to finally paint a bathroom gray. I've always wanted to do this, and I would love to hear if you could paint your bathroom any color in the whole world, what would it be? Or if you've already painted your bathroom your favorite color, let me know down in the comments below which color it is. Alright, so I have 2 coats. Excuse the echoey sound in here if I open the door. I just didn't want it to be too bright. So I have 2 coats of gray paint on the walls now, and I came down pretty far because I wasn't sure where I wanted to start the board and batten. We decided we kind of wanted it to line up with the middle of the window. I was thinking maybe it's shorter, but I didn't want it to look too short in here, being that it's a small bathroom anyway. Honestly think that it being up higher is going to make it look a little bigger in here. So I went up, I want to say it's 56 inches, and we taped all the way around the room. And that is where we are going to paint white down below. So it'll be gray above. Eventually we'll come back in and we will add trim and all of that to the board and batten. But the gray turned out so pretty with the marble that we have going on. So it's kind of got a little bit of a blue tone to it. Not so much of like a muddy brown tone to it. So it matched that really well and went on pretty good. It took 2 coats, but yeah, really happy with the finish. I went with a satin finish. I did the same thing for below. I got Behr Marquee, just a plain, like didn't add any tint or anything to it, just bright white paint for the board and batten. So I'm gonna go ahead and start adding the white paint. And finally, after everything was painted, we were able to reinstall the light so we could have some light in here while we were working instead of my big bulky studio light. This one I found at Home Depot. Anything that you see that you might have a question about where it came from, check the description box below. I'll try to link as much as I can, or I'll at least write where it came from. And now to shift gears to our beautiful popcorn ceiling. Yes, as you can see, they were pretty terrible. You can even see right here where there's even what looks like a hole that was covered and re-popcorned over. And the first thing that needed to happen was our light needed to come down. We're going to be using Total Tech to install a brand new beadboard ceiling. This stuff comes in handy for several different things in this project, mainly because it is an adhesive and because we're going to be using it to fill the gaps all the way around the ceiling after it's installed. So what we're doing here is measuring the ceiling. We cut the beadboard down to size, and then we used the Total Tech on the back of the beadboard so that we could use it as an adhesive and it would penetrate through the popcorn ceilings and stick to the ceiling. We also used some brad nails to attach it as well. I actually have a full and complete tutorial on how we did this project. I will link that up in the iCards along with down in the description box below. So if you have more questions, likely they're probably answered in that video. But you can see here we went around the edges as well as throughout the middle to secure the beadboard to the ceiling. After getting that last little piece installed, you can see around the edges we have a pretty ugly unfinished edge. So what we did is used our Total Tech again to help install a 1/4 round trim all the way around the edge. We also used some 1.5 inch brad nails to secure it, to keep it in place until the Total Tech dried. Next, we spackled and sanded all of those nail holes we left and then used some white paint to go over the 1/4 round, and then I used a paint roller to make sure I painted the entire beadboard. It is primed, but you definitely want to give it a few coats of paint to make sure it's that nice bright white. And now to really finish up this project, we needed to seal up those gaps. So we used our Total Tech. It comes in a caulk gun version 2. So we ran that along the ceiling and along the wall edges and smoothed it out with our finger. Super duper simple, quick and easy, and really gave this whole ceiling a complete and finished look. Here's a look at what it looked like again before, and then the beautiful transformation after. Also a look at our brand new exhaust fan and light combo. Now on to grouting. This isn't the first time I've grouted, but it's definitely the biggest space that I've ever grouted before. And I quickly found that I actually really enjoy it. It has a very satisfying type effect. Basically, all I did was use a float to press the grout into all of the cracks in the tile, and then came in with a sponge to remove as much as I could. We let the grout sit for 4 hours before coming back again and re-wiping everything to get all of the excess grout out. We did use bright white grout for this tile, and you can see what a big difference it made in the overall look. So here's after that first side was finished, and then I want to give you a look at the before one more time, and then a look at the after. And once we were to this point, I was so excited to take a bath in this new space. It looks so relaxing and luxurious. I was so excited. Also, Brian worked on refinishing and creating new trim for this window and made a beautiful windowsill so I can eventually put some plants or something up there. I'm excited about that. And up next will be this big bathroom floor makeover, which I'm so excited to share with you guys. But I think I'm going to leave it right here. This is a pretty big remodel project, and it is going to take a part 2. So make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. Click the bell and click all so you get notified when that next big reveal video comes out. I cannot wait to share it with you. Please give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.